Hey, it's Tom Roder for RoadRUNNER magazine. Thank you for joining me. Today we are going to review the 2023 Suzuki GSX-8S. If you enjoy this review, please make sure to like it. Having already struck a first-inning home run with the V-Strom 800DE earlier this year, I was eagerly anticipating the street bike version of Suzuki's new parallel twin that powers both the Strom and the GSX-8S. Swinging a leg over the 8S, it was immediately apparent that the motorcycle wasn't going to disappoint. In fact, it took all of riding the 2023 Suzuki GSX-8S from the garage at Suzuki's corporate headquarters in Brea, California, to the end of the parking lot for me to begin liking the new Naked.
Looking for more exciting motorcycle travel, editorial, reviews, news, and resources for planning your next motorcycle tour? RoadRUNNER.
The rider triangle was the first notable attribute of the GSX-8S. Lots of legroom, a sporty but not too extreme forward lean to reach its handlebars, and a nicely contoured seat with comfortably firm foam. After many more miles, it was clear that this was a motorcycle I could spend multiple hours aboard without complaint. There's nothing in the way of wind protection, but as the owner of two unfaired motorcycles, I'm okay with that. Suzuki offers a meter visor for $150, but its function is mainly to keep bug guts from getting lodged into the back of the instrument cluster. I'm sure Poog or another aftermarket manufacturer will offer something with more wind protection for anyone desiring to clock some serious mileage aboard the GSX-8S. Months ago, I poked fun at the word slim being used 6 times in the press release to describe the width of the unreleased GSX-8S. With the bike beneath me and able now to discern the short distance between my knees, it's easy to confirm the motorcycle's slimness, which adds to its overall comfort and increases the rider's ability to move around on the bike when riding aggressively. Suzuki's new liquid-cooled 776cc DOHC parallel twin arrives at a time when every manufacturer seems to feature a parallel twin around which various models are built. For Suzuki, the V-Strom 800DE introduced earlier this year was the first model, and now we get the new GSX-8S. And for as much as I liked this twin in the V-Strom, I'm liking it even more in urbanized Street Fighter mode. According to Suzuki, the twins of the GSX and the Strom are identical. However, where the 8S punches out the same amount of torque as the Strom, due to tuning and exhaust volume differences, the Strom produces 1.3 more horsepower than that of the 8S at the same RPM. The 8S also has slightly taller gearing. Both motorcycles are outfitted with a 17-tooth countershaft sprocket, but whereas the 8S has 47 teeth on the rear sprocket, the Strom has 50. So why does the 8S feel so much spunkier than the Strom? It all comes down to the 60-pound weight advantage of the 8S. 445 claimed curb pounds versus 507. Any power advantage of the Strom is negated considering each horsepower of the 8S is pushing around nearly 1 pound less weight. 5.4 pounds per horsepower for the 8S versus 6.1 pounds per horsepower for the Strom. But enough with the numbers. The fact is, Suzuki created an engine with very user-friendly, easy-to-ride characteristics any motorcyclist would enjoy. The 8S is torquey and fun without being intimidating on the back roads, while smooth and quick to get around traffic on the freeway. Much of the credit for this new engine belongs, of course, to its engineers, but especially to the person or persons who can claim ownership of the Suzuki Cross Balancer system. Using 2 balancers positioned 90 degrees to the crankshaft with a 270-degree firing order created a unique parallel twin among a bevy of similar engines from competing manufacturers. It's a new engine, but once underway, you'd swear it performs as if it were a 3rd-gen model that's had all the rough spots smoothed over. I've had the opportunity to ride various parallel twins recently, the BMW F900R, Kawasaki Z650RS, and Yamaha XSR 700, and Suzuki's new twin is definitely the best of that lot. Suzuki boasted the GSX-S would be smartly priced when it came to market, and it certainly is. At $8,849, the 8S is priced competitively against smaller displacement offerings such as Yamaha's MT-07 and Kawasaki Z650. Considering the included technology of the GSX, 3 ride modes, traction control, slip-assist clutch, specifically the bilateral quick shifter, the Suzuki could be considered a steal at that MSRP. Of course, meeting that price point meant some concessions, and with the 8S, it's the bike's suspension. With the non-adjustable KYB fork and preload-only adjustable KYB shock, maintain composure in most city and freeway environments, the suspension components were overwhelmed when navigating a particularly bumpy back road with the 8S moving and bending in ways that don't elevate a feeling of confidence. Adjusting the preload on the shock may have helped some, but without the nifty twist knob to do so like the V-Strom has. I just didn't have time to fiddle with it before returning the 8S to Suzuki. A steering damper would also help quell some of the bike's transitional nervousness. Slowing down, not pushing the GSX-8S so hard may seem like an option, but it's not, because this motorcycle is nimble and easy to slice and dice through a tight section of twisties. The rake and trail and wheelbase numbers are slightly less extreme than Yamaha's XSR 700, but it sure likes to get into corners quickly. Braking performance from the ABS-equipped dual 310mm front disc and 4-piston radially-mounted Nissan calipers was substantial, if not a little grabby, but at least the front brake lever is adjustable. Throttle response felt very linear without any of the off-on light switch effect found on similar motorcycles. Visually, I find the GSX-8S attractive, but then, to me, I see styling cues taken directly from my beloved KTM Super Duke R, especially the headlight and forward-jutting side panels extending from the fuel tank. Those similarities aside, the matching blue wheels and subframe give the 8S an upscale look, as does the nicely packaged under-engine exhaust. But then it all goes to hell with that obnoxiously long rear fender. You have to imagine it's there to meet some DOT legal obligations, but thankfully Yoshimura already has a fender eliminator kit that tidies up the rear end of the 8S. Forget everything else, that Yosh kit will be the best $199 an owner can spend on this motorcycle. Keeping with its modern appeal, the GSX features a 5-inch TFT instrument cluster that provides the rider with clear and easily readable information relating to settings for ABS, TC, gear position, and ride mode settings. The brightness of this display can be manually adjusted to suit the rider's preference or left to automatically switch between dark and light modes. If you happen to have read my review of the BMW F900R, you may recall me whining about the bike's power-to-weight ratio, 90 horsepower and 465 curb-pounds. And here I am touting Suzuki's very similar 82 horsepower and 445 curb-pounds. But that's why we ride and write about motorcycle performance, and enthusiasts, hopefully, read what we've reported. Because where the BMW fell short in my appraisal, the Suzuki's combination of power, weight, brake and trail, center of gravity, swing arm length, ergonomics, price, and various other contributing factors found the sweet spot. Not sure if the GSX-8S will eventually summon the original's S650's cult status, but it's off to a good start. So that's our review of the Suzuki GSX-8S. If you enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe to see more content like it.